On the shores of the Albemarle sound so fair, where the water meets the Carolina air, stands a town of brick and oak and time, Edenton, where the church bells chime. Oh, Edenton town, you've seen it all, from colonial days to freedom's call. Your streets remember every soul who walked your ways and played their role.
1700, the settlement grew, named for a governor the people knew. Governor Eden gave his name with pride to this jewel on the waterside.
Ladies gathered in the autumn light, 1774 they stood for right. They pledged against the British tea, first women's protest for liberty.
St. Paul's steeple reaches for the sky, the couple where the years go by. Courthouse Green where justice stood, built with Georgian grace and wood.
James Iredell walked these very streets, Supreme Court Justice, history meet. Joseph Hill signed his name so bold on the Declaration, brave and old. Then came the war that tore the land, brother against brother, gun in hand. Edenton's sons marched off to fight for the cause they thought was right.
The Union gunboats came to shore. In 62 they came to war. The town was occupied, flags were changing, nothing here was quite the same.
Families divided, hearts were paid, freedom's meaning redefined and gay.
Harriet Jacobs knew these streets as chains. Born in slavery, she bore the pain. 7 years she hid in an attic small,
Then escaped to freedom's call.
she wrote her truth for all to see. Incidents of the road to the revolution, war, and changing times, through triumph and through hard and climb. The waterfront has watched it all. Edenton stands, it will not fall.
Now tourists come to see the past, the homes and churches built to last. The harbor still reflects the light of a town that shines both day and night. Oh, Edenton town,
You've seen it all.
from colonial days to freedom's call. Your streets remember every soul who walked your ways and played their role.
Who walked your ways and played their role.
In 1714, the Queen gave the word, a new hand in bat, the finest they'd heard. Charles Eden arrived with the weight of the crown to bring the king's law to this Albemarle town.
Capital city and bureaucrat pride, with a smile for the people and nothing to hide.
But the water is wide and the inlets are deep, and a governor has certain secrets to keep. Edward Teach came ashore with a ship full of gold, looking for pardons and a story to be told.
For those who are simple and weak, Governor Eden, the gold and the grain, washing the pirate blood out of the stain.
Saw the crime, arrest him. Tobias Knight, check the barn.
It's just Sir Tom.
What's in the tunnel beneath the floor?
The pardon, the pardon. Oh, Governor Eden, the town on the creek. The law is for those who are simple and weak. He gave us the name that we carry with pride, but he took the Blackbeard's gold on the side. The governor's secret, the water knows Edenton. Is there a female Congress at Edenton? Why, yes, darling, pull up a It was October 1784. The ladies of Edenton said we can't take any more. Penelope Barker said, girls, put down your cups. King George's tax sortie and I have had enough. 51 women with a quill and a plan said we don't need permission from the Parliament man. They signed their names in ink, bold as you please. First women's political act in the colonies. No dumping in the harbor, no disguise, just 51 ladies looking power in the eye. Printed up a cartoon Said the ladies of Edenton were playing out of tune, called them uncontrollable. Well, they weren't wrong. You mock a Carolina woman and she'll write you a song. Who said women couldn't sign a petition? Not in Carolina. Not in Carolina. Who made the first collective political decision? Oh, we're stirring up trouble in Edenton town. Pick up your pen, girls, put that teacup down. Mulberry leaf and lavender in our cups today. British East India Company, take your tax and go away. 51 names on a document signed and sealed. Oh, the boldest little tea party the world has ever revealed. October 25th, 1774. 51 women knocked on history's door, and honey, they didn't knock. They walked right in. Edenton, 7th Juliet, daughter of a doctor, granddaughter of planters, proper lady, plantation manager, political firebrand. Married 3 times, outlived them all. Don't mess with Penelope. Born at Blenheim Manor on a Carolina day. Growing up on 2,000 acres, she knew how to hold sway. Teas and balls and church suppers, oh, she played the part. But underneath that proper dress beat a revolutionary heart. Her daddy died, her sister too, she was barely 17. She raised her sister's children and she managed the whole scene. Then she married sister's husband. Well, someone has to do it. If life hands you lemons, Penelope says brew it. Oh, Penelope, Penelope, 3 husbands and a revolution, and she handled it with glee. Open up or make a double ring colonial history. Put down your teacup, pick up your pen. Edenton's finest is at it again. Don't mess, don't mess, don't mess with Penelope. Husband number 1, John Hudson, died and left her in a lurch. 4 children and a plantation and a pew down at the church. Needing help to sort the debts, James Craven came to call. She married husband number 2 and inherited it all. When Craven passed in 55, she was one of the richest women in the state. Then Thomas Barker came to court her. 3rd time must be great. Thomas sailed to London in 1761. 17 years, honey, That man was gone, who ran the plantations while he dined in England's reign. Penelope didn't even complain. Who organized the women of the whole Albemarle Sound? Penelope passed that paper The London papers printed up a cartoon, all the nerves. Said the women of Edenton were getting on their nerves. Thomas had to flee to France when news reached London town. His own wife's revolution nearly turned his world around. He came home in 78, she handed him the keys. Said, welcome back, dear husband, now get down on your knees. They built the Barker house in 1782. 3 floors and 8 fireplaces, she had earned a room or 2. Thomas went in 1789, left her all his land. She bore 5 children, raised 4 others. This was one strong woman's hand. She died in 1796 at 66 years old. And down on South Broad Street, her story's still being told. Oh, Penelope, the most proper troublemaker in colonial history. Put down your teacup, pick up your pen. Edenton's finest is at it again. Don't mess with Penelope. Oh, Penelope, Penelope, Penelope Paget, Hodson, Craven, Barker. Don't mess with her, don't you, Pen? Don't mess with her.
A man of the counting house, a man of the quay, watching the cargo come in from the sea. He was of Edenton, cautious and cold, with a ledger of silver and a story untold. He stood in the Congress, he listened to John, watching the shadow of the king move on. Is it time, he whispered, with a pen in his hand, to sever the ties of our motherland? Letters from Smith, news from the Sound. The spirit of Barker was gaining its ground. every breath to the ships and the line. A life for a country, a sacred design. He died in the harness, he died for the cause. Beyond the petitions and colonial laws, in a grave in the north, far from the sound, but his heart's in the Edenton silt and the signature stays, the water remains. A 17-year-old boy on a customs house floor, checking manifests and ledgers by the Edenton shore. Born in Sussex, bred for the king's own pay, but the spirit of the sound blew his loyalty away.
He read the law by candlelight, every page a heavy weight, transforming from a clerk to a pillar of the state.
Oh, Iredell, James Iredell, with a pen like Arabia, he cast a legal spell. From the Albemarle water to the highest court's bench,
He fought for the freedom that no king could ever quench.
the logic in the groove,
The law,
the justice in the rhyme.
the law. He married Hannah Johnston, joined the inner circle's fire, while the letters to his brother back in England never tired.
Is there a female Congress? His brother wrote in jest.
James replied,
Be careful, they're putting us to the test. Judicial review,
the Constitution's son.
Marshal before Marshal,
The work has just begun.
the law.
The law.
Washington called his name in 1790 to ride the Southern Circuit where the roads were rough and grimy. He wore himself to nothing for the law of the land, with a heavy silk robe and a quill in his hand.
Oh, Iredell, James Iredell,
With a pen like Arabia, he cast a legal spell.
from the Albemarle water to the highest court's bench.
He fought for the freedom that no king could ever quench. The law,
The logic, the logic, the logic, the logic. Tick, 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 law.
Cicero. salt spray stings and the steady north wind blows. A highway of the current, a path across the sound, where the freedom of the ocean is the only thing we found.
We carry the tobacco, we carry the heavy grain, navigating the silence and the rhythm of the rain.
Over the highway, the long album all away, where the ships are just silhouettes at the end of the day. It's the pulse of the trade, it's the vein of the land, controlled by the moon and the tilt of the sun.
The schooners are the ghosts on this white and liquid floor, knocking like a heartbeat on the heavy harbor door. They bring the news of empires, they bring the taste of salt, a momentum of the ages that no human hand can hold.
Through the mist of the morning, through the weight of the gale, every life is a story, every heart is a sail.
When break the reef,
The stars in the deep,
the secrets of water.
have eternally key.
The highway never sleeps, it just waits for the tide.
With the ghosts of the sailors and the dreams they would hide.
Edenton is waiting where the road meets the shore,
A light on the water,
an open wide to the highway, the long album all away, where the ships are just silhouettes at the end of the day. It's the pulse of the trade, it's the vein of the land, controlled by the moon and the tilt of the sand. The highway, the water, the salt, the sound. I'll be Molly high. What are you leading?
by the album all the water's edge. Carolina town that no one would forget.
Edenton, Edenton, Mars and Magnolia. A child came into the world with no papers, no free air. Her mama taught her love, her daddy built with his hand.
But the law said she belonged to another woman's land.
She didn't know yet. She was 6 years old. That someone on the sunrise that she walked through, someone on the dream she couldn't hold.
When her mistress died, the will was read aloud. Bequeathed to a 3-year-old, a child who owned a child.
Then Norcom came with his cold and crooked hand. Thought he could buy her silence like he owned these southern lands.
His name in secret, called him by another word. Dr. Flint she'd call him, but the truth was always heard. She chose a different path through the swamp and the night. Ran back to Edenton to grandmother Molly's light.
9 feet by 7 feet, barely tall enough to kneel. She watched her children through the cracks, she watched the seasons wheel. She sewed and prayed and wrote her words beneath the Carolina sky.
They thought they had her buried, but she was only waiting. They thought that she had surrendered.
She was only excavating.
Every iron wall they built, every lock upon the door, till the harbor called her name one night.
And she ran for the northern shore. She caught a boat in Edenton Bay. The Maritime underground carried her away to New York City, to Rochester and beyond. She found her daughter, found her son, and found where she belonged.
Amy Post said, write it down, and Harriet took the pen. Incidents in the life of a slave girl, never to be silenced again. Reader, be assured this narrative is no fiction. She wrote it for the women, every daughter, every sister.
Shade her spirit still resides.
Freedom seeker, writer, abolitionist. She album all lay quiet in the May of '61, when word came down from Raleigh that the Confederacy had begun. The planters raised their voices and the young men raised their hands, and Edenton sent her sons away to fight for southern lands. But the town was split in half that year, the way a river bends. Some believed in union, some believed this war must end. Some believed in freedom, though they dared not speak it plain. And some just watched the storm clouds rolling in across the sound again. Oh, they melted down the bells of Edenton town, poured the bronze of the churches into cannon pound by pound. The steeples fell silent, no more calling out the hours. What do you ring when the war has taken everything that's ours? They melted down the bells.
They called themselves the Bell Battery, Company B Moore's artillery, named for the bronze church bells of Edenton, cast into guns for the Confederacy. They marched to Fredericksburg, they marched to Kinston's Field. Carolina boys in Carolina mud who prayed they'd never yield. Some wept, some waited, some opened up the door, some walked down to the waterfront and prayed the end of war.
When the Union soldiers marched through Broad Street, some of Edenton's enslaved people walked to meet them. Not as contraband, not as property, but as people who had been waiting for this morning their entire lives. Harriet Jacobs had already told the world what this town had done. The Albemarle knew.
The water always knows.
The men who left for Richmond, not all of them came home. And the ones who did came back to find they couldn't walk alone. As the Confederates lost more northeastern territory, more enslaved people fled to Union lines, and freedom had a different face on every Edenton road. Some healed, some hardened, some turned away in shame, and some just kept on living in the shadow of that name. Oh, they melted down the bells of Edenton town, pour the bronze of the churches into cannon pound by pound. The steeples fell silent, no more calling out the hours. What do you ring when the war has taken everything that's ours? Oh, ring low,
Ring low, Albemarle.
Carved in stone, oh, there's a name we'll never know.
They melted down. Albemarle shore, a house on the stilts with a heart made of flame, giving the sailors a light and a name. Through the fog of the winter and the heat of the July, a guardian watching under Carolina's sky. Oh, the light turning through the night, a diamond in the darkness, burning silver white. From the Albemarle sill to the Edenton pier, a beacon of hope through the long changing years.
Ghosts and the trade moved away. She sat in the silence of the Elizabeth Bay, abandoned to rust in the salt and the tide, with the ghosts of the keepers still living inside.
This is the midnight, carry her home over the water, over the floor.
She's walking on water, she's coming to shore, to stand by the park and the harbor once more.
She stands on the grass where the children all play, reflecting the sun at the end of the day. The last of her kind with a story to tell, a queen of the sound that we know so well. Oh, the light turning through the night, a diamond in the darkness, burning silver white. From the Albemarle sill to the Edenton pier, our beacon is home and the vision is clear. Still turning,
Still shining,
our lighthouse, the light in us.
In the Carolina heroes, cotton with the sound and the soul meet. Sweat of the bonded, sweat of the free, both hands tied to the same industry. First the sun, then the gin, then the cart, feeding the engine that was ripping the world apart. On a from the dust of the field to the noise of the loom, we're all just fiber in a maximalist room. The engine is humming, the pattern is set, but the debt isn't paid, no, the debt isn't met. cotton,
the ones who bore the stain.
different lives, same heavy load, just a mile apart on the very same road. The spool on the frame, different colors, but the story's the same. The fields are quiet now, the machinery is still, but the echoes remain in the Edenton mill.
The history is woven, the pattern is clear, the sound learning how to reckon with fear.
Oh, the spindle is turning, the wheel is in the groove. The fabric is woven, but the heart doesn't move. From the dust of the field to the noise of the loom, we're all just fiber in a maximalist room. The engine is on the right in his head, but the debt isn't paid, no, the debt isn't met, so
the fiber remains, the fields are wide, but the truth is woven somewhere inside.
Pain was peeling on the face of the past, a colonial queen not built to forever last. But a few bold hearts in the 1950s, son, decided the story of the town wasn't over and done. They saw the cupola through the rot and the weeds, sowing the future with preservation seeds. Oh, save the timber, scrape the old white lead, bring the history back from the silent dead. It's a living museum, it's a town in bloom, restoring the light to every dusty room.
the spirit
Of the wood,
the spirit
of the good.
They moved the lighthouse back from the edge of the deep, awakening the memories that the Albemarle would keep. From the Barker house porch to the Chowan courthouse floor, they opened up the latch on every heavy history door. Not a ghost of a town, no a vibrant design, where the old and the new begin to intertwine. Strip the layers, find the soul, make the broken perfect be whole.
Strip the layers,
Find the soul,
make the broken.
cover the end.
Ooh.
Now the tourists walk the streets that the ladies save, on the bricks of the history that their courage paved. Edenton breathes because they dare to care,
a masterpiece of memory in the carol on the air. Oh, save the timber, scrape the old white lead, bring the history back from the silent dead. It's a living museum, it's a town in bloom, restoring the light to every dusty room. Still building, still breathing, the museum is us.
White columns stand like the bones of a king, where the mockingbirds weep and the cicadas sing. Samuel Johnston, the master of law, built a temple of brick with no visible flaw. Oh, the library's quiet, the ledgers are dry under the weight of a careless sky.
But the law has a shadow and the brick has a cost. In the names of the people the record is lost. Down by the quarters where the cypress is old, there's a different story that's waiting to be told. The sweat in the timber, the blood in the clay, the ghosts of the haze aren't going away.
Oh, the ghost of haze, it's calling your name. The wealth and the power, the pride and the shame. It's a lesson in stone, it's a lesson in breath, between the grand life and the labor of death.
Dig through the sill,
Dig through the sill,
dig through the gold,
dig through the gold,
find the truth
find the truth
that was never told.
that was never told. This all remembers. Now the mansion is silent,
The archive is deep,
but history isn't.
a thing you can keep.
It breathes in the garden,
It speaks in the sound
a powerful lesson that's
rising from ground.
Oh, the ghost of haze is calling your name. The wealth and the power, the pride and the shame.
It's a lesson in stone, It's a lesson in breath. Freedom is living, silence is death.
The columns are ghosts. The truth is here.
Friday night, 1926, you know! Tonight we'd like to all the aces are in the building, let's move!
Way back in 26, the doors open wide for the purple and the gold and the Edenton pride. Johnny Holmes, the name on the wall, building the spirit that would never ever fall. From the old of the devil crown, it's all beating the alphabet sound. Oh, we're the aces. High-flying aces, winning the game of game in 1,000 places. Purple and gold, gold and brown, south and sounder and down. The spirit in the rhythm, the ace, the power in the wisdom, the ace.
Basketball, baseball, the grid are on fire, taking the aces' name higher and higher.
From the classroom desk to the graduation stage, every student writing a brand new page.
We don't just play, honey, we define the pace with the heart of a champion and a whole lot of grace.
Who's in the house?
We aces,
What's the color?
purple and gold,
What's the legacy?
100 years most.
The town is the school and the school is the town. A circle of history that won't slow down. From the grandparents' ears to the children's eyes,
The ace is the spirit that never dies. Oh, we're the ace town, high-flying aces, winning the still game in 1,000 places.
Purple and gold, bold and bright,
Light shining
like the Friday night lights. door, a quill hits the page. 51 women step onto the stage. Barker and Bond feel they're brewing the storm. The first spark of freedom begins to take form.
The ships in the harbor, the salt in the air.
Revolution rising everywhere. 250, the years roll by under the wide North Carolina sky. From the brig of the courthouse to the sounds deep blue, Edenton, we're singing for you.
The bells of the steeples were melted to gun, a town torn asunder for daughters and sons.
But look to the attic where Harriet stayed, a light in the darkness that never would fade.
She ran for the water, she followed the star, and carried our conscience so incredibly far.
The cotton spinning,
The spindle of tall,
the lighthouse is turning,
rhythm sublime,
Overture's logic,
our life is to read.
2 centuries and a half of being free. The tourists will walk in the streets of the past on a foundation built to forevermore last. The cypress is swaying and the history is deep, a promise we made and a promise we keep. 250, then the years roll by under the wide North Carolina sky. From the colonial green to the deep harbor blue, Edenton, we're singing for you. 2 centuries and a half of being free.
A quarter millennium, a keeper of our history.
Edenton.